Geometry checkpoint 9b, exponential functions. An exponential function is an equation in the form y equals a times b to the x power, where b is greater than or equal to 0. Now, exponential functions are the ones that you see with population and interest, where we have lots and lots of growth and things are getting bigger at a faster rate. Now, a in generally will represent your starting or your initial value. B is going to represent your multiplier or your decay value. You can find B by either adding the percent increase as a decimal to the number 1, and for a decreasing value, you're going to subtract it from 1. And then X represents your time. From a table, the multiplier can be calculated using the ratio of the y values that correspond to one integer x value divided by the preceding x value. And we're going to do that in example number 2. So for example number 1, we're going to graph y equals 3 times 2 to the x power. So I tried to pick one to start off with that would be nice and easy to do by hand, and we're going to go ahead and do that. So we're going to plug these numbers in. So I've got 3 times 2 to the negative 1. Hopefully you remember 2 to the negative 1 is the same as 1 over 2 to the first power, which is just going to be 1 half. So I've got 3 times 1 half, which is 3 halves, or 1.5. For my second one, I've got 3 times 2 to the 0 power. And hopefully you remember anything to the 0 power is 1. So I've just got 3 times 1. Oops, I don't know why I wrote 2. I've got 3 times 1, which is just going to give me 3. Now for my next one, I'm going to go ahead and use 1. So I've got 3 times 2 to the first power. 2 to the first power is just 2, which gives me 6. Now we're going to get even bigger much faster. So for the next value, we've got 3 times 2 squared. 2 squared gives me 4. When I multiply them, I get 12. So we're already going to be off my graph a little bit. And then for my last value, I've got 3 times 2 to the third power. If 2 to the fourth, 2 to the second is 4. If I multiply 4 by 2 again, I'm going to get 8. So I've got 3 times 8, which gives me 24. So you can see we are doubling all of these values. And so with each single interval that I go up on the x-axis, I double on the y-axis. So that's what I mean by exponential equations graphing, going up, 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 up really quickly. So at negative 1 on the x-axis, I'm going to be at 1.5 here. At 0, I'm going to be up at 3. At 1, I'm going to be up 6. At 2, I'm already going to be off at 12. This is 10, so we'll say this. And then I can't even graph 3 because it's going to be all the way up by the flag. I'm just going to connect my dots. A big key with the graph is you want to make sure that it doesn't cross the x-axis, since the graph will never be negative. So that's how you go ahead and graph it by hand. You're always welcome to use your graphing calculator if you prefer. That would also give you a list of tables of values if you like that better. So now for example 2, we've got a nice word problem. The ticket prices at African Safari Land have increased annually according to the table at right. Write an equation that represents the cost over various years. So we want to start off with our equation. We've got y equals a times b to the x power. So we need to figure out what a and b are going to be represented by. A is always our initial value. So for year 0, that's going to be my initial value. So we're going to go ahead and we look at our table and we can see that our initial value is 50. So that's going to be my A. Alright, so A is going to be 50, nice and easy. Now B, we're actually going to have to do a little bit of calculating because we need to figure out at what rate is this growing. You can use any of the points that we have here because each of these are growing by an interval of 1. So I'm going to pick the 2 middle points here just for ease. So I've got 60.5 and I'm going to divide that by my previous value, which is 55. So I'm going to jump over to my calculator, figure all this out. So I've got 60, 55 divided by 55. I want to double check and make sure I did that right. Nope. 60, 50. Alright, so 60, 50 divided by 55 is going to give me 1.1. So my B is going to be 1.1, which would be right here. And then we're going to leave x as it is, and that's just going to be my equation. Is y equals 50, which is my initial value, times my b of 1.1 to the x power. And that's all we had to do for that one. Now this last problem is going to take a little more time since it's a little more complicated. A house that was worth $200,000 in 2005 is now only worth $150,000 in 2010. So it's going down. So we're already looking at a decreasing thing. Write an equation to represent the value since 2005 and tell the percent of decrease. So just like last time, we're going to start out with our general equation, y equals a times b to the x. But in this situation, we're going to have the house was worth $200,000, so that's going to be my initial value. It's now worth $150,000, which is going to be my y. That's what it's worth now. Now my b isn't exactly given to us, or I'm sorry, my x isn't exactly given to us here. But we know if it started off in 2005 and now it's 2010, that's going to be a 5 years. So that's going to be my b. So as I just said, we've got $150,000 right now. We started off at $200,000. And we've got b to the 5th power. So then I divide both sides by 200,000. So those cancel, leaving me with b to the 5th. When I cancel all those zeros, 15 divided by 20 is 0.75. So now hopefully you remember from algebra, if you have b squared and you want to get rid of it, you take a square root. For b to the 5th, we're going to have to take a 5th root, which is going to look like this. So now I'm going to need to jump to my calculator because I can't figure that out in my head. So we've got 5, got our 5th root button, and it was 0.75. Alright, so that's going to give me 0.94. So now my equation is nice and easy. We've got y equals 200,000 times 0.94 to the x power. However, they also asked you to tell what the percent of decrease was. So it's decreasing since we've got a number less than 1. So I have to figure out, I've got 1 minus whatever my percent is, and that's going to give me 0.94. So I need to go ahead and subtract 1 from both sides, which is going to give me a negative p. And I'm going to do this in the calculator, make sure I don't mess it up. 0.94 minus 1, which is negative 0.06. That's not a percentage, that's just a decimal. So in order to make a percentage, I'm going to move that decimal place over 2 points. So it's actually decreasing by 6% is the rate of decrease. You also could have had 0.94 plus p equals 1 and subtracted. You'll get the same answer. You also could have just looked at that and said, well, I know 1 minus 0.94 is 0.06, and that's 6%. But again, it asked you to tell the percent of a decrease, so you need to make sure you include that in your answers. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to email me at mbrener@d131.org.